I have to do one thing. I have to go back, Jim. I have to go back to the Continental days because if you recall, my career was not just with Jeremiah People. I was also a movie star. And, there's a guy that right there he is, right there, there he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Is that unsigned? Because if you can find an unsigned version of the poster, it's worth a fortune.
Oh yeah, it's unsigned. It's unsigned. Believe
okay, good. Yeah, so that's maybe worth something.
Yeah, I'm sure something. Something, but
I didn't know whether to bring it up or not.
Actually, I'm embarrassed. We're both embarrassed by it, but we both had fun. We had fun.
We had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
And we've actually done 3 movies together, though, in which we
which that's something we need to tell people about that.
I think so. I'm with your permission, I might show a little clip of it. I'll
that'd be great. Yes, 13
trailer of it, and
that'd be 13 years ago. Well, if you're going to show a trailer, then I'll just set it up by saying that 13 years ago, my wife surprised me by deciding to have. I've always wanted to be in a Western. I've known all kinds of film people, been around films, but I've never been in a Western. I always wanted to be in a Western, wanted to be in a Western. So Soozi got Paul McCusker to write a script, Steve Taylor to direct, a couple I worked with at ADF that were professional cinematographers, Tim Hossman to do the music score and the sound, and Scott Rummel to do the voiceover. And we ended up with what you're about to see.
In every man's life, there comes a date with destiny.
All right, Judge Knott, I'm good to go.
In every man's life, there comes a time for love.
With the authority vested in me, I pronounce you man and wife.
There comes a time for peace.
You won't be needing that badge anymore, Sheriff Newman.
I guess you're right, Judge Knott.
Crazy Pants Pete's coming to town, and he's looking to kill you for locking him up.
When are they coming?
11:30 train.
All right, guess I got to have my badge back.
What?
Yeah.
Have you forgotten who he is? Have you forgotten what he's done to people? Have you forgotten that he's crazy?
Don't you remember when he sat in that chair?
You never hang me. I come back. I kill you, Chuck, dude. I kill you.
I heard him say he's gonna cut you up in little pieces.
And feed you to the gophers.
I heard he owns a whole herd of gophers.
And these meat eaters. I'm gonna plug him with a whole bunch of holes, he said. And then I'm gonna pull out the plugs, and you're gonna bleed to death all over that hook rug.
He's gonna roll you up in that hook rug and drag you through town.
Till your fancy boots are so full of sand, you can barely walk in them.
I heard he got a whole flock of seagulls.
And he trained them to peck you to death.
And eat your eyeball.
What you gonna do, Sheriff Noon? You gonna run like a little sissy boy?
Yes, I am.
There comes a time to take a stand.
Hey! Long John! I don't see no train, but there's a gang riding in on horseback.
That's the ones. And they looking to kill you for locking them up.
Listen to me, all of you. We can beat this gang if we all stand together. All right, let's deal a little poker. Tell you what, if I win, we'll all fight Crazy Pants and his gang together. If I lose, I'm on my own.
There comes a time when a man finds out who his friends are.
Well, boys, I'm afraid you're all had. What you got? Let's see it. Now call me me crazy, but I think somebody here's cheap. All right, I'll take him on myself.
There comes a time when there's not enough time to exit in a timely fashion.
Well, if it isn't Sheriff Chuck Noon.
So, Crazy Pants, you gonna introduce me to your lady friends here?
Easy, boys. I think he's just looking for a proper greeting.
I'm warning you, don't say it.
Say what? Say howdy, Sheriff Noon?
Top of the morning to you, Mr. Charles Noon, sir.
If you say it, those will be the last two words of greeting to leave your lips.
Say what? Say hi, Noon.
Chuck Bolte is Chuck Noon in High Noon. His time is now.
As you reflect on the Continentals, and of course, you've been all over the Christian music and drama and the entertainment world, if you want to call it that, and ministry in general. What place does Continentals hold in that? And your participation and Cam's influence, how does it fit into that?
Well, it's obviously it's number one. Continental's organization is number one. But out of that came other experiences. As you know, Cam started an organization called Christian Artists and started a music seminar in Estes Park. Well, I was the one that found that I was from Colorado, so I knew about the YMCA camp. So I went up and met with what was his name?
I'm just trying to remember.
It's the guy who found. He's actually, they named the auditorium after him. You would know the name. The auditorium after him. I can't think of it. Anyhow, met with him, and they moved. They actually had an organization that had been there for years, and they actually asked them to move so that we could have the week. And they did. They were kind enough to sign off on moving. So we had the week, the first week, I think it was the last week of July, first part of August, in 1976.
75.
Yeah, 75.
75.
And then it took off from there. And I emceed Dan Burgess, who we remained friends over the years. Also emceed I went till 1989, I think was my last time. But that was an incredible experience. I mean, we got exposed to so many different artists, and you were there several times.
I was a couple of times, but before my first year on Continental tours, I went to Christian music and performing arts camp up in Big Bear.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 77. It was the first year of SIMPAC, I think.
Wow.
And I was there, and in the concert we do at the end of the week, I had a little solo of Old Rugged Cross that
wow.
That was my first time to meet Cam. Afterwards, he came up and said, "Hey, great job on that," and that was my first introduction. And I went with Brad Holmes the next year in '78. Yeah,
I didn't know. How did you find out about the camp?
I think because the Continentals came to our church in Fullerton, East Side. In fact, that's when I auditioned, was after a concert, and Chafee was the assistant director. It was Johnny Johnson's tour, and I auditioned for Chafee, and I think they promoted it at that concert, and then I signed up and went to Big Bear.
That was I was flying low and fast in that one. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but we had Dino there. Remember Dino and
John Fisher.
Wow. Yes, John Fisher had Tim Shepard.
Yeah.
Also, the drummer that was Elvis Presley's drummer was the drummer there.
Yeah.
Billy, somebody, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite a camp. That was a lot of fun. Another thing I did while I was I produced albums, produced Jeremiah People, but I also produced the live shows, Wings of Light, a little known one-off group called
Intermission.
Oh, we've got posters.
Intermission.
Look at that hair. Oh my God.
Isn't that nice? Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That makes me cry. Yeah, but produced a bunch of albums.
I cried a bit too afterwards, but it was an incredible year, actually. It really was. You know,
Yeah, it was a great group. And you let me play your Chet Atkins at rehearsal camp. That was a thrill.
we should have had the picture all inserted here somewhere. Yeah.
You still
It
got
was a great rehearsal camp up at Arrowhead. Felt
Yeah, it
so
was.
good being there because it was only 7 of us or 9 of us in the group.
Yeah.
Had this whole
Yeah.
campus to ourselves. So that was
Yeah.
weird. But that was an incredible year with a big ripple effect. You know, 120 some odd concerts in universities and high schools across Eastern Australia.
And what's interesting is that and you know this, the continental impact as far as relationships is unbelievable. I mean, for us to maintain, that was 1907, what's that, 50 years ago? Something like that, 50 years ago. We still have close relationships. As you saw, we met with people in Nashville 2 years ago. Wish you could have been there. It was just incredible. Steve and Debbie and Jim and Solveig. I mean, just so many people. And still Don and Nancy, who hosted the get together. Just such great relationships.
I was just talking with Scott Lee about that same thing. I haven't talked to Scott since the mid 80s.
Wow.
We just kind of picked up naturally and had a conversation because we directed tours at the same time, and there's a connective tissue there that just is kind of always there. Yeah. We've been fortunate to stay a little more connected with you guys periodically over the years, and we're grateful for that. But it is a really special familial kind of thing that we are both really, really grateful for.
Yeah.
That a lot of people just don't experience in life.
I think when I met with Gigi on last Monday, that was a similar thing. This is a person that I only knew when she was 17 years old. I turned 21 the summer that we were on the road together.
We're 73. We're 73.
I'm not quite, not till next week.
Oh,
But to not see someone, but that common experience. So I'm sure, first of all, there is a natural winnowing process, that there's a type of us that do this kind of thing. And so there's a natural affinity that's probably already identified, but then the experience itself is life transformative.
Have you ever wished you could gift your life-changing Continental experience to someone else? Well, you can. Your monthly giving can make a huge impact for our teams all over the world. Did you know that this year, we'll have more than 20 Continental groups on the road, communicating in 7 different languages? The Continental story goes on, so keep writing your part of it by being on our support team. And our groups will say, thank you, in 7 different languages.